Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Justin Wolf from Wolf Customs, and today we are doing something that we've never done before, and that is we are going to do a little bit of kayaking. I've been in a canoe 1,000 times in my life, but I've never been in a single kayak. I'm going to go over the kayak that I purchased and show you guys a little bit of my likes and dislikes so far of this kayak. Show you a few things that you definitely need to know before you buy this kayak, things that I didn't know that I wish I would have. So here is the kayak, and this is a Heritage Angler 10-foot kayak, and it's a sit on top kayak. And like I said, I don't know a lot about kayaking. This is literally going to be the first time I've ever been in one. Bringing this out here, I've learned a few things. Number one, when I had this at home, you can see that the seat here doesn't give very much back support at all. In fact, I'm going to hand this camera over to my buddy Travis and have him show you exactly how little back support is in this thing. So you can see that literally I can just lean back. I mean, there's really no support in this thing at all. So when I initially sat in this, I thought that was going to be a problem. But I did find a solution, and I will show you that solution just here in a little bit. But another thing that I figured out when I was here is this particular model has these holes in it that allow water to come up in the kayak, and I assume that it does that for I guess I don't necessarily know why it does that. I don't know. Do you have any idea why those are there, Travis?
My guess is just so they'll drain. So it'll drain if it does get water in it really easily.
Okay. I actually thought, I knew that they were there, but I thought that there was a reservoir running underneath this. And as the water came in, it would drain down into that reservoir. And then when you're done for the day, you tip your kayak over and drain it from what I thought this was a drain plug. Well, I was wrong. I got out here and I looked through there and I see ground. So I know that the moment I sit down in this thing, the lake's going to come right up into this, and it's going to want to get my gear wet as well as myself. Now, if it was 106 degrees outside, this really wouldn't be too big of a deal, but it's only about, what, 60 degrees right now?
50, yeah, I don't even know 50, if it's that. It's in the 50s.
50 something. So, and that water coming up through here is going to be very cold. So, God bless this rain suit. It's going to keep my butt a little dry. They do make plugs for these, which is a plus, but this is definitely something that you want to take into consideration right here. And I wish I would have done a little bit more research to see that there wasn't a reservoir going through there. Another thing is it has these storage compartments. It has one in the back and one in the front. These are something, and they kind of run the full length of the kayak. And this was something that I really wanted. I wanted a good storage. The problem that I'm running into now is being able to fit my items in here, especially this one. I mean, this is very small. Now, the one on the front is actually quite large, but when you put your items in a dry bag or anything, trying to actually stuff your items in there can be a little bit difficult, but I think that that's more of a learning curve than anything. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to attempt to make some sort of plug to at least plug up this back portion here so I can put my items in it and try to keep those dry and go from there. So let me get everything lashed down and anchored down, and we'll come back to it and see if I fall out of this thing using it for the first time or not. Okay, so Travis actually had a water noodle that went on the bottom of his seat, and so he was kind enough to let me use some of it to see if I can plug those holes. I have no illusion that there's going to be some water coming in irregardless. It's just a matter of how much, I don't know. My main concern was back here. And again, I have no illusions that my bag is going to get wet. None of the contents in this bag matter if they get wet. But, you know, in the future, I definitely will probably put all those same contents in another dry bag and forget about this backpack. Just, it's one of those, we learn as we go. This is what I did. I put in this is a sleeping bag, and I just attached that to my seat, and that's going to give me a lot more back support. I can lean back in that now, and it's actually quite comfortable. And in the future, if I decide to get a pad, I can put a pad right down there. But who's to say I'm even going to keep this kayak? This is definitely the first time using this kayak, so there might be a few things about it that I don't like. So we will find out. So yeah, that's completely comfortable now. I mean, it's all the support in the world that I need. I mean, it feels really nice. Obviously, there's no pad underneath my butt, but I'll get over that. I need a chair like that.
This is a recliner, a lounge chair. If
No
you will.
kidding.
You ready to put it in the water?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you mean?
This part actually seems kind of nice. You can just kind of stick your paddle right in there.
Might show that again up closer so people don't see the taco.
Which is kind of nice. I'm concerned with how it's going to hold up in cold weather because I do intend on using my kayak in the cold. So, okay. Let's do the dang thing.
We just about had this moment we're talking about. You want me to push you in a little? Or you got it?
I think I got it.
Hey boss, if you disconnect those paddles, you'll have two poles, like ski poles. You can push yourself out there with.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, just like that.
Oh.
You can swim, right?
Oh yeah, I can swim good. I mean it's like anything, I guess. Just got to get used to it. I mean, it feels a little wobbly, but nothing too major. I'm afraid that if it was a windy day or something though, oh God, that's gonna be...
What about those rapids?
Exactly. I think it's gonna be one of those things where I kind of need to feel what yours feels like, so I have something to compare it to.
I like mine.
Well, you ready to go?
You know what? Actually, them plugs are doing a decent job.
Really?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Man, you know it'd be really cool? Going through some caves. was gonna say, this is turtle heaven back here. I can see it. I can see it flowing right there. Yeah, that's cool. That's real cool. Yeah. Am I supposed to land somewhere? Yeah. You guys see any kayaks back there? I don't. This little spot that Travis brought me to, he comes here all the time, and I tell you what, it's like night and day from where I'm from. I'm pretty sure we're not in Kansas here. We got yucca right here, some buffalo gourd, devilweed, also known as poison ivy. There's just all kinds. I see grape growing all over the place. The thing that I have really liked about this area so far is there's all kinds of different bracket funguses growing on the trees, where, I mean, I live just an hour from here and we don't have hardly any bracket fungus that grows. And I really like charring it or using it as a lamp, you know, soaking in vegetable oil or something. So we're gonna do some hiking and see what all we can find. This is literally one of the only natural springs that, you know, it's hard to come by these things where I live. So being able to take the opportunity to drink straight from the source. Oh my God. It's delicious. So we was walking along and all of a sudden Travis yells snake, and I look down and I see this gorgeous bull snake. And finding, here, will you hold the camera for me?
Oh yeah.
So I can really show everybody. You can get close, I won't let him do anything to you. But finding bull snakes just out in the open like this is actually quite rare. They're very secretive snakes. And I can tell that this is a true bull snake and not a gopher snake because you can see the band that runs across the eyes all the way across the top of the head. Gophers, on the other hand, they don't do that. They don't have that band that runs across. This is a fairly young snake, obviously, but this is literally my favorite snake in Kansas. See if I can get him to hiss a little bit for you guys.
He doesn't even care.
No, they calm down so fast, it's hard to get them to hiss once they stop. Yeah, he's not even wanting to hiss now, which is fine. Man, I'm glad you saw him. Something about a bull snake, they don't musk, you know.
They don't?
No, I mean they will, but they're not big time muskers like rat snakes. When you first yelled snake, my first thought was there was a rat snake, and they musk so bad and they stink so freaking bad. It's like that one that we saw in that tree.
Yeah.
Did you see me go?
Yeah.
And sniff? I could smell them. They stink so bad. It's not even funny. Whereas these guys, they're really great snakes. So Travis is definitely becoming my new snake hunting partner because he's spotting them pretty well. Travis spotted this one down at
I don't want to interrupt you, but there's a lizard just went up that tree.
Oh, really?
Yep. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Lizards are hard to oh, I think I just seen him. Lizards are hard to catch right now because it's warm. Man, they are super quick, super quick. We'll see if we can catch him here in a second. But Travis spotted this little red-sided garter snake right there hunting in the creek. They love little frogs. These guys do. They got hooked teeth, so that way they can really hang on to their prey. But something that a lot of people don't know about the garter snake species is their saliva actually has a slight toxin in them. And so if they do bite you, it's completely and 100% harmless to humans. But sometimes you will actually get a slight rash at that bite spot because of that mild toxin. But again, they are 100% harmless to humans. Unlike the bull snake, I do not really like this particular species of snake just because they're nasty. They've got a pretty foul temperament when you first catch them. They calm down fast, but they also like to musk. And if you've ever been musked, it's such a god-awful pungent smell, and I hate snakes that musk, and these guys do it a lot. But
can we get a close-up view, maybe?
yeah, you bet.
He really doesn't like being around there, huh?
They're very herky-jerky snakes, man.
But he's not tapping his tail like the other one.
They still will.
They will?
Yeah, they will. Most snake species will actually do that with their tails, and just to mimic. I mean, almost all Kansas snake species will do that, believe it or not. But the older ones know better. I was too focused on the turtles. Battle Royale!
Dang it, I didn't knock you off.
It's you! Oh shit. Well, that was easy. I didn't even have to try and I fall off. That water feels good though. They say that it's easy to re-enter also. We're gonna try, see how that works. Well, I know, but I wasn't, you know what I mean? Alright, let's see just how easy it is. I guess they say to flatten your feet out and give a good solid kick. About overshot it and flew over it. I'll tell you what, there's really standing up in it. All right, let's see how easy it is to turn over and then how easy it is to get back in it. Feels way different without that back support on here. Yeah. It's self-correcting, like you're saying. It doesn't hold. Actually quite easy, really, which is nice, but really you had to work pretty hard to get it to, I felt like if I just counterweighted it, it wouldn't have been a problem. I mean, I actually intentionally tipped it, you know. See that, Travis? All this water in here now?
I don't know if it's coming out, but I can see it.
I mean, it's definitely a full bathtub.
But I bet if you pulled those plugs, it'd all be gone.
Think so?
Oh yeah.
I thought the water would come up in it like this.
I think it'll do the opposite.
Let's try. Get that plug out. I guess this is a good time to see if I can get into my hatches and everything without tipping too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's draining. That's cool. this Heritage 10 is, you know, we've been out here for a good long today, several hours, and we've went up real shallow, narrow paths. We were out in the middle of the lake where there was a lot of decent, not necessarily white caps, but a good amount of wind, and it actually held up really well. I mean, it was pretty stable. It tracks really nice. And from everything I've heard, that some of the kayaks, especially the shorter ones, they don't really track that well, whereas this one did. It did really well. As far as how it performs, I was quite pleased with the way it performed. The only things that I have to say negative about it right now is, number one, the seat. You've seen what I had to do to the seat to make it a little bit more bearable. Once I did that, it was fine. If you're concerned about getting wet at all, especially your butt or the bottom of your legs, it's going to happen in this kayak for sure. You know, my buddy, he's got this nice chair that actually comes up off of it, and you know, he's always going to stay dry. His butt's going to stay dry, whereas this one is just not going to happen. So this kayak, I definitely won't be using this kayak in the winter. If I do, it would be on a very calm day. It would have to be a day that there was no wind, because I dang sure don't want to get my butt wet on a cold, windy day. Other than that, as far as complaints go, I really don't have much of anything. You know, the dry storage and everything, it even after I rolled the kayak and rolled it back, I mean, looking inside there, I mean, it can take you around and there's no water in there. I mean, what water is in it is from me putting the rain gear and stuff in there from earlier today when it was raining. So that's nice. So I think all in all, I think it just boils down to more practice time with it, really. You know, trying to figure out what kind of modifications I want to make to it. If I would have had more money, I probably would have bought one like Travis's. It is real nice. Plus it has a little capsule right up there front to store like your wallet or your phone or anything like that, which is kind of nice. His is a 12-foot and mine is a 10-foot. The thing that I noticed the difference between the two is his ride's extremely nice. It's like a flippin' Cadillac, whereas mine is more like an agile sports car. You can turn really easy in mine. It takes Travis a little bit more time. I mean, you can still turn really nice in it, but this one will outmaneuver that one pretty easy, unless you have a buddy that goes into what I call donk mode. So, well guys, that's all I have for you on the Heritage 10 kayak. Only time is going to tell whether or not I truly love this kayak. As of right now, it's a fun kayak, and I don't regret purchasing it. If I would have had a larger budget, I probably would have gotten something a little bit different, but for the money that I had at the moment, I picked this thing up for right at $400, and so, I mean, $400, I think it's a nice kayak. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and as always, have a good one.